Hello, my friends, and welcome to today's episode of our English Learning Podcast. I'm so happy that you are here with me, ready to spend this time learning, practicing, and hopefully having a little fun too. Today, we're going to talk about a very important idea: discipline in daily tasks. Some people call it discipline, some people call it consistency, but the meaning is very simple. It's about doing the right thing again and again, even when you don't feel like it. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever promised yourself that you would study English every day, but then you skipped one day, then another, and suddenly a whole week passed without practice? I'm sure this has happened to many of us. That's normal. But here's the thing: discipline is the difference between people who dream and people who actually achieve. There is a nice English saying, "Where there's a will, there's a way." It means if you really want something, you will always find a way to do it. Sometimes the way is not easy, sometimes it's even boring, but discipline helps you stay on track. Discipline is not about being strict like a school teacher with a stick in hand. No, discipline is about being a friend to your future self. Imagine you in 6 months or 1 year speaking English fluently, getting a new job, feeling more confident. That future version of you will thank you for the discipline you have today. Now let's make this idea very clear. Discipline means you create habits. A habit is something you do automatically, like brushing your teeth in the morning. You don't ask yourself, "Should I brush my teeth today?" You just do it. That's what we want with English too. Study should become as normal as brushing your teeth. But many learners make a mistake. They wait for motivation. Motivation is like the weather, sometimes sunny, sometimes rainy. Discipline is like the calendar. It keeps moving, no matter what. There's another idiom in English: don't put all your eggs in one basket. This usually means don't risk everything in one place, but in learning, it can mean don't study only once for many hours and then stop. Spread your practice across the days. Small pieces every day are better than one huge effort once in a while. Let's take some simple examples. Imagine you want to learn 100 new English words. If you try to learn them all in one day, you will probably forget most of them. But if you learn 5 words every day, in 20 days you will have learned all 100, and you will remember them much better. Or imagine you want to get fit. You can't go to the gym once for 6 hours and expect a strong body. You need 30 minutes, 4 or 5 times a week, again and again. Language learning works in the same way. This is why discipline is so important. Discipline is like a bridge that connects where you are now and where you want to be. Without that bridge, you're just standing and dreaming about the other side. Now, let me explain discipline in a very friendly way. Some people think discipline means no fun. But that's not true. Discipline is actually freedom. Why? Because when you have discipline, you don't need to waste energy deciding every day. The decision is already made. You don't ask, "Should I study today?" The answer is always yes. Then, after your study, you can relax and enjoy your free time without guilt. Here's another idiom: the ball is in your court. It means the decision is yours, it's up to you. And with discipline, the ball is always in your court. You have control. So let's connect this to English learning. Think about how you study. Do you have a fixed time every day? Do you have a plan for listening, speaking, reading, and writing? If not, discipline can help you build that structure. Let me give you 3 very simple, practical examples of discipline in language learning. Of example 1: every morning, listen to a 5-minute English podcast while drinking your coffee or tea. It's a small habit, but it adds up. Example 2: after lunch, review 5 flashcards with vocabulary, just 5, easy. Example 3: in the evening, repeat 1 English sentence 10 times out loud. This helps your pronunciation. Do you see? Discipline doesn't mean 2 hours of hard work. It means creating small daily habits that together create a big result. There is also a saying, "Rome wasn't built in a day." It means great things take time. And learning English is a great thing. You cannot finish it in one day. But with discipline, day after day, you build your own Rome. So now we have a clear idea. Discipline means doing small tasks every day, consistently, without excuses. It's not about being perfect. It's about being regular. And let me add one more idiom: practice makes perfect. You probably know this one. It means the more you practice, the better you become. But here's a friendly secret: practice doesn't make you perfect if you do it once and stop. It only works if you do it again and again. That's why discipline and practice are best friends. Now let me tell you a story, because stories help us remember ideas more clearly. There was a young man named Daniel. Daniel wanted to improve his English because he dreamed of studying in another country. At the beginning, he was very excited. He bought new notebooks, colorful pens, even a big English dictionary. On the first day, he studied for 4 hours straight. He wrote many notes and tried to memorize long lists of words. But here's the problem: the next day, he felt tired. He thought, maybe I'll take a break today. 1 day became 2 days. 2 days became a whole week. Soon, Daniel looked at his books, and they were still almost empty. Have you ever felt like Daniel? Starting strong, but then losing energy? That's very common. There's an idiom for this. Don't bite off more than you can chew. It means don't try to do more than you can handle. Like when you take a huge bite of food that doesn't fit in your mouth. It's too much at once. Daniel tried to chew too much English in 1 day, and it didn't work. One day, Daniel met his friend Maria. Maria was also learning English, but she looked calm and confident. She could speak in short sentences, she understood English podcasts, and she was improving steadily. Daniel asked her, "What's your secret? Do you study for many hours every day?" Maria laughed and said, "No, not at all. I only study for 25 minutes a day, but I do it every day, without fail." Daniel was surprised. "Only 25 minutes? That's nothing." Maria smiled. "Yes, but small drops of water make a mighty ocean. This is another idiom. Little by little, a little becomes a lot. It means that small efforts repeated over time create big results." Maria explained her routine. In the morning, she listened to one English song and wrote down 3 new words. In the afternoon, she watched a short video and repeated some sentences out loud. At night, she read 1 page of an English book. That was it. Very small, very simple. But she never skipped a day. Daniel decided to try her method. The first week was difficult. He wanted quick results, and 25 minutes felt too short. But slowly, something changed. He realized that English started to feel lighter, easier. His brain stayed active with the language every single day. After 1 month, he noticed progress. After 3 months, he could hold short conversations. After 1 year, he could speak confidently. Here's another idiom. Slow and steady wins the race. Maybe you know the story of the tortoise and the hare, the slow turtle and the fast rabbit. The rabbit ran quickly but stopped to sleep, while the turtle kept moving slowly and finally won. The idiom means that being consistent and patient is better than rushing and stopping. Daniel learned this lesson the hard way. At first, he was like the rabbit, fast but inconsistent. Later, he became like the turtle, slow, steady, disciplined. And he finally reached his dream of studying abroad. So, what do we learn from Daniel's story? Discipline is not about doing big things once. It's about doing small things every day. There's another phrase, Rome wasn't built in a day. I know I mentioned this before, but let's think about it again in the story's context. Daniel wanted to build Rome in 1 day with 4 hours of study. But Maria built her Rome slowly, brick by brick, every single day. And in the end, her city was much stronger. Now, let's make the story more personal. Imagine yourself as Daniel. Maybe you buy a new book, maybe you download an English app, maybe you tell yourself, from tomorrow, I will study 2 hours every day. But then life happens. Work, family, stress, tiredness. 2 hours is too much and you quit. But if you are Maria, you don't need 2 hours. You need 20 or 30 minutes. Something small but powerful. Something you can do even on busy days. That's discipline. Another idiom for this is, don't count your chickens before they hatch. It means don't celebrate success before you actually reach it. Daniel imagined himself speaking perfect English after one big study session, but he didn't hatch the eggs yet. Maria didn't imagine fast success. She just kept working every day, and eventually the chickens came out. So the story teaches us, don't do too much at once. Don't wait for motivation. Do small things every day. Trust the process. Remember, consistency is key. This is not exactly an idiom but a very common expression. It means that repeating actions regularly is the real secret, and maybe the most important lesson. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is love for your future self. When you are disciplined today, you are giving a gift to yourself tomorrow. So, now that we've talked about what discipline is, and we've listened to Daniel and Maria's story, let's connect this idea to real life. Because theory is nice, stories are nice, but what really matters is how discipline works in your own daily routine. First, let's think about language learning. If you want to learn English, you need discipline. It doesn't matter how smart you are, or how many books you buy, or even how expensive your English course is. If you don't practice regularly, you won't see results. There's a saying in English, you can't have your cake and eat it too. It means you can't have two opposite things at the same time. In learning, it means you can't expect fluency if you don't put in the work. You can't say, I want to speak English fluently, and then never study. Discipline is the missing piece. Imagine two learners. One studies for 15 minutes every day. The other studies for 2 hours only once a month. Who will improve faster? Of course, the first learner. Why? Because the brain learns better with small, repeated practice. It's like watering a plant. If you give a little water every day, the plant grows strong. If you give 2 liters of water once a month, the plant dies. Here's another idiom, strike while the iron is hot. It comes from blacksmiths, people who make tools from metal. They must hit the metal while it's hot and soft, otherwise it becomes hard and useless. In learning English, the hot iron is your daily opportunity. Every day is a chance to practice, and if you miss it, the chance becomes harder to use later. Now let's connect discipline to work and career. Think about your job. Employers love workers who are disciplined. Why? Because they can trust them. A disciplined worker finishes tasks on time, arrives on schedule, and delivers consistent results. Imagine 2 colleagues. One is very talented but always late. The other is average but always reliable. Who do you think the manager will promote? Usually, the reliable one. Because as the idiom says, better late than never. But actually in professional life, better on time than late at all. Discipline shows respect for your work, for your team, and for yourself. Here's another useful expression. Actions speak louder than words. It means people believe what you do more than what you say. If you say, I'm responsible, I'm hardworking, but you don't show up on time or you don't finish your tasks, your words mean nothing. Discipline proves your character without needing words. Also, discipline helps reduce stress at work. Imagine you have a big project due next week. If you wait until the last night to do everything, you will feel terrible, tired, nervous, maybe even sick. But if you do a little every day, step by step, you finish calmly and confidently. That's discipline saving your health. Now let's connect discipline to relationships. Yes, relationships also need discipline. Think about your friends, your partner, your family. If you never call them, if you never show up, if you always cancel plans, what happens? The relationship becomes weak. But if you send a message once in a while, if you keep your promises, if you are consistent, people trust you more. There's an idiom. A friend in need is a friend indeed. It means a real friend is the one who is there for you when you need help. And being there requires discipline. Sometimes you don't feel like going out. Sometimes you are busy. But discipline reminds you, relationships need time and effort too. And finally, let's talk about health and personal life. Discipline is the foundation of a healthy body and a healthy mind. You can't eat junk food every day and expect to be strong. You can't sleep at 3 a.m. every night and expect to feel fresh. You can't skip exercise for years and expect to be fit. There's another saying, you are what you eat. Of course, it's not 100% literal, but it means your habits create who you are. If you eat well, you feel well. If you practice discipline in food, sleep, and exercise, your whole life improves. Now, some people say, but discipline is boring. And I understand that. Routine can feel boring. But discipline also creates space for fun. If you manage your time well, you finish your important tasks first. Then you can truly enjoy your free time without guilt. Think of the idiom, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. It means if you only work without fun, life becomes boring. But the opposite is also true. All play and no work makes you unsuccessful. Discipline is the balance. It makes sure you do both, work first, then play. Another connection: discipline and mental health. When your life is chaotic, when you don't have routines, you often feel lost and stressed. But when you wake up, exercise a little, eat breakfast, plan your day, and do things step by step, your mind feels calm. There's a nice idiom: an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Of course, eating one apple won't magically stop illness, but it means that small, daily healthy habits protect your health better than one big action later. Discipline in health works exactly like this. So let's put it all together. In language learning, discipline keeps your progress steady. In work and career, discipline builds trust and success. In relationships, discipline shows care and creates strong bonds. In health, discipline protects your body and mind. Now you see, discipline is not just a word from a dictionary. It's a life skill. Without it, your goals stay dreams. With it, your dreams become reality. Here's one last idiom for this part. The early bird catches the worm. It means the person who acts early, who doesn't wait, usually gets the reward. Discipline is waking up early, starting your work, and taking small steps before it's too late. All right, my friends, now it's time to practice English together. This is the part where we take everything we talked about, discipline, consistency, small habits, and turn it into active learning. You'll repeat sentences after me, answer questions, and learn new expressions. This technique is called shadowing. Shadowing means you listen to someone speaking English and try to speak at the same time, almost like you are their shadow. It helps your pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence. Let's start with some simple sentences. Please repeat after me. I study English every day. This is an example of a small, daily habit. When you repeat it, you are practicing consistency, and also saying it out loud helps your speaking skills. Discipline helps me grow. Notice how we use the verb helps. It's simple but powerful. Every time you say it, think about how discipline actually helps you in real life. Small steps lead to big results. This is a very common phrase. It reminds us that we don't need to do everything at once. Little by little, we improve. Now, let's add a few idioms. Repeat after me and I'll explain each in a friendly way. Rome wasn't built in a day. This means great things take time. Your English won't be perfect tomorrow, but if you study a little every day, in months or a year, you will reach your goal. Think of each day as a brick for your Rome. The slow and steady wins the race. This comes from the story of the tortoise and the hare. The slow turtle kept moving steadily, and it won the race. In English learning, you are the turtle. Be patient and consistent. Little by little, a little becomes a lot. Another way to say that small actions repeated create big results. Every single word you learn, every single sentence you practice adds up over time. Practice makes perfect. You've probably heard this one before. It means the more you practice, the better you get. But remember, practice only works if it's regular. That's why discipline is so important. Strike while the iron is hot. This means to take action at the right moment. In learning, every day you have a chance to practice English. Don't wait for the perfect mood. Start now. Now, let's do some interactive practice. I'll ask you a question and I want you to pause, think, and answer out loud in English. Don't worry about mistakes. Speaking is practice, not perfection. Question 1. Scene. What is one small English habit you can do every day? Take a moment to say it out loud. For example, I will read one English article every morning. Or I will listen to a short podcast every day. Question 20. How can you add discipline to your work or study routine? Think about one action you can repeat daily. Maybe it's writing a to-do list every morning or reviewing vocabulary before dinner. Now let's repeat some sentences together with slight variations. Repeat each one after me. I wake up early and start my day. I complete small tasks every day. I take one step at a time. I don't wait for motivation. I act anyway. My small efforts make a big difference. I am consistent and I am growing. Every day I improve a little more. See how simple sentences can be powerful. When you repeat them daily, your brain begins to accept these ideas as reality. You become more disciplined just by saying it. Let's add a few more idioms for fun. The ball is in your court. This means the decision is yours. If you want to improve your English, no one can do it for you. The ball is in your court. A friend in need is a friend indeed. This reminds us that relationships also need consistency. If you help your friends regularly, they trust you more. Discipline isn't just for studying, it's for life. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Don't forget to balance. Discipline means doing important tasks first, then enjoying your free time. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Remember, you can't expect great results without effort. Small, consistent work is necessary. Now, let's practice making a daily discipline routine sentence. Repeat after me. I study English for 20 minutes every morning. I review 5 words every afternoon. I read 1 page of a book every night. I listen to a short podcast every day. I speak English for 5 minutes every evening. These sentences are not long or difficult, but saying them aloud helps you create mental habits. It's like telling yourself, yes, I can do this every day. Finally, let's do a short mini dialogue. I will say 1 line, you repeat, and then answer. Ready, hello! How is your English practice today? You answer. It is going well. I studied for 20 minutes this morning. Did you complete your vocabulary review? Yes. I learned 5 new words. Great. Are you consistent every day? Yes, I am consistent. I study a little every day. See, these short sentences are easy to remember, and when practiced daily, they build confidence and fluency. Remember, my friends, the most important part is doing a little every day. Shadowing, repeating sentences, and practicing idioms helps your brain remember, and your speaking becomes more natural. By the way, you can also combine shadowing with your favorite music or videos. Repeat sentences from movies, songs, or podcasts. This makes discipline fun, not boring. All right, my friends, we are coming to the final part of today's podcast. I hope you've enjoyed our journey through discipline in daily tasks, and I hope you are feeling motivated to apply some of these ideas in your own life. Let's quickly review the main points we've discussed today. First, discipline is doing the right thing, even when you don't feel like it. It is not about being strict or boring. Discipline is about creating small, consistent habits that grow into big results over time. Remember the story of Daniel and Maria. Daniel tried to study too much at once, and he gave up. Maria studied a little every day, and after months, she achieved her goals. The lesson is simple. Slow and steady wins the race. Small steps are better than occasional big steps. We also learned some important idioms today. Rome wasn't built in a day. Great things take time. Be patient with your learning. Little by little, a little becomes a lot. Small efforts add up over time. Practice makes perfect. Repetition helps you improve your skills. Strike while the iron is hot. Take action when opportunities arise. The ball is in your court. You are in control of your progress. A friend in need is a friend indeed. Consistency is also important in relationships. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Balance work and rest. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You cannot expect results without effort. Friendly reminder, these idioms are fun to use in daily conversation too. Try using them when you speak with friends or in your English practice. They make your English sound more natural, and they also remind you of the lessons behind discipline. Next, let's connect discipline to daily life again, just to reinforce the ideas. Language learning. Discipline means practicing English every day. Listen to a podcast, read a short article, learn a few words, or repeat sentences. Even 10 minutes a day is better than 1 hour once a week. Work and career discipline helps you finish tasks on time, gain trust, and improve performance. Your colleagues and managers notice consistency. As the saying goes, actions speak louder than words. Doing is better than just talking. Health and personal life discipline and sleep, exercise, and eating habits keeps your body and mind strong. Remember, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Small, healthy actions every day protect you from bigger problems later. Relationships, being reliable, keeping promises, and checking in with friends or family regularly strengthens bonds. Relationships, just like language learning, need consistent care. Now, my friends, let's end with motivation and encouragement. Discipline may feel difficult at first. You may feel tired, bored, or unmotivated. But that's normal. Remember, this motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. Motivation is like the sun. Some days it shines bright, other days it hides behind clouds. Discipline is like your shoes. You wear them every day, no matter the weather, and they carry you forward. Here's a friendly tip: create a daily mini routine. Write it down and stick to it. It can be as simple as 10 minutes listening to English, 5 new vocabulary words, 5 minutes speaking practice, review 1 sentence or idiom. If you do this every day, you will see amazing progress in just a few weeks. And remember, it's okay if you miss one day. Don't feel guilty. Just return to your routine the next day. Consistency over time is what matters most. One last idiom for inspiration. The early bird catches the worm. It means that people who take action early or consistently often get the best results. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to start and keep going. So, my friends, here is your challenge for today. Pick one small habit to practice English every day. Repeat one idiom you learned today out loud. Remember, small steps, daily consistency, and discipline are your best tools. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you feel ready to take small actions every day. Keep learning, keep practicing, and most importantly, stay disciplined. Your future self will thank you. Until next time, my friends, stay consistent, stay motivated, and keep moving forward one small step at a time. You've got this!